Hello and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I'm in the kitchen, got my apron on. I am excited about today's show because we're going into book 2 and we're making a fantastic recipe that's super easy to make, and it's this one here. It's the curried prawns. Now I will tell you how to make it curried chicken in case you're not a prawn fan. But before we get into talking about this amazing recipe, I just want to make sure you've heard the news. Right now, there's a massive deal happening for anyone wishing to join my weight loss program. Now, instead of paying the usual $99 to join, you're only going to pay $49. Look, this is the perfect time to join and be a part of the spring challenge, which starts on Monday. Perfect timing. And you'll get the first 8 weeks for just $49. That's a saving of $50. Now, this one-time offer will never be repeated. So don't miss out, because once the 10th of October clicks over, the joining price will go back to $99. Now, as you can tell, I'm super excited about this spring challenge and supporting you further with your weight loss journey. So for more info, go to simplytoogood.com.au/membership. And let's get ready for summer. I'm so excited. All right, so now let's get to the recipe because it's beautiful curried prawns. It's an old favorite. Who doesn't love it? Now, if you're not a curry, you don't want things hot, I'll show you how you can fix it, all right? So this is going to be a good one for you. So what we need first is 400 grams of raw or green prawns, peeled. You don't want the tail on or anything, just the prawn. So 400 grams of that. Now, if you wanted to change this to chicken, because I often make them both because they're so fantastic, is you replace the prawns with 500 grams of skinless chicken breast diced. There you go. And the filling's pretty simple really, because we're just using capsicum and onion. So you've got half a cup of green capsicum and half a cup of red. Look, I do that because I love all the pretty colours, but you can just put one capsicum colour in if you want, up to you. We also want a cup of sliced onion. Now, the spices that we're going to use, and this is, I'll talk about it shortly, is turmeric, coriander, cumin, garam masala, and chili powder. So I'll talk about them in a minute. We want garlic. Now, because you can use fresh garlic if you want, but I'm using the jar because I like it quick and easy. We're going to use some chicken stock powder in here, as well as evaporated light milk with the coconut essence, which you can't get in Coles and Woolies anymore, so don't look there. You can get them at IGA stores or on the Queen's website. Okay, so that's there. Now, they've changed the can, I'm sure you know by now, so that's why I've got this little bit of skim milk, because that brings it up to what's in the recipe of 375 mils. I'm also going to put some corn flour in to thicken up, and of course I've got my rice bran cooking spray here ready to go in my Neoflam wok. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I think I'll prep up the veggies. Let's get the veggies done first, yeah? All right, so we want just half a cup of green. Now, the difference between green and red capsicum is that the green is younger. It eventually, if you leave it for long enough on the plant or vine or whatever it is that the capsicums grow on, it will go red. But I find I favour the red capsicum. My daughter Jenna says, no, Mum, it's all about green. I just think it's a bit sweeter. What's your thoughts on it? If you could only have one capsicum, would it be red or green? Put in the comments. I'm a sticky beak, I like to know everything. All right, so half a cup, which is not easy to do with capsicum, is it, when it's cut into strips, but I'm going to say that that looks terrific. All right. Then we're going to do the same now with the red capsicum. Just take out, you always want to take out that white bit and the seeds. You don't want the seeds in there. And we're going to cut them into thin strips. Thanks for joining me today, because I really always look forward to catching up with you on a Thursday. And the curry prawns, as I said, it's in book 2, and it's just a simple, easy curry. And what I'm going to show you as we go on is the basis to a curry. I'm not talking, curry powder. I'm talking you making your own up. Okay, let's have a look here. Half a cup, yep. There we go. And now we're going to do the onion. And now the onion is a cup. So we're going to slice it. So I'm going to actually cut it in quarters. And we want 1 cup. Here we go. So it's good to prep everything up ahead. I just think it makes the cooking side of it really quick and easy. I tend to break up the onion a bit before I put it into the pan, so let's do that now. And there's a cup. All right. All right, so now let's just get rid of the onion. So also, don't forget Cooking for One or Two. Don't forget this book too, because if you look into the index, you'll see that the curry prawns are in this as well. So what's great is that you get to choose today whether you want book 2 or do you want Cooking for One or Two. I'm just going to leave those lovely books there so I can look at them. So there's the veggies done. Now if you're not a fan of a capsicum, you could just put any vegetables that you like, you know, maybe carrot or celery or something. Like you, it's up to you. It doesn't really matter. I like things to be a bit different every now and then because you can't have the same vegetables all the time. All right, now what we do next is we're going to do the prawns. Now I have done a few ahead because I wanted to speed up a bit. But you could just put the prawns in and cook them like that. But I like a soft prawn, and the way you do that is you get your sharp knife and there's your prawn at the top and you slide down like that. I'll show you again. Are you zooming in, Billy? So you go to the top of the prawn and just slide down the back. You don't open it up like, you know, you don't cut it into 2 pieces. See how I do that? So it just stops down here. Let me just repeat it again. Sliding it down the back of the prawn. And that way it'll just be a softer prawn because you find that when they're closed off like that, they can be a bit hard. Yeah, and we want soft. So there we go. Easy to do. If you're doing prawn cutlets, for example, you'd do that, but you'd actually go down and push it open. You know how you get curry crumb prawns like that? All right, are we done with the chopping board? Yes, we are. Let me wash my prawn fingers. Oh my gosh, look, my towel matches my outfit. Can you see that, Bill? I make these. I do all these little crochet towels, hand towels. I mean, I've done them for years and I love them. All right, so let's now, well, I want to do something to show you. I like to be prepared when I'm cooking. I don't want to be taking too long. And, you know, sometimes when you've got all these spices to put in, you've got to go in, flatten them out, put them in, and then everything's just cooking away and this is too much. So what I do is if I've got a few spices that I need to put in, I do it all in one go and put it into a dish. So let's do it. So coriander is a teaspoon. Garam masala, a teaspoon. Now this mix is a curry mix. Like it's a really tasty way to make a curry and not using just a curry powder. I mean, I do use curry powder for some things, but if you're wanting to do it yourself, this is it. That was turmeric, cumin. I love the way my spoons just go into the jars. Doesn't it make it easier? Now, this mix here now is just flavour and colour from the turmeric to give it that yellow curry flavour, yes? It's not hot. So if you're like my daughter Kelly who can't stand anything hot, you'd stop now and just make it that way. But we want a curry to be hot, or, you know, like a bit hot anyway. So now I'm putting in 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. So remember that. If you put the chili powder in, of course, then it becomes hot, yes? All right. Okay, let me just wash my hands again. And we can start cooking now because we are ready. See, I've got my vegetables chopped up. I've got my prawns opened up. I've got my spices ready to go. So this is just about boom, boom, boom. Let's get cooking. All right, we don't need this here anymore. Oh my gosh. Okay, so cooking spray. I'm just going to put the prawns in and just slam them for just like a minute or so. So I want to get this hot, and then we'll do the milk thing. I'll show you that as well. Let's put in as well the two teaspoons of the stock powder in here as well. That way it's all there and nothing's going to get forgotten. All right. Okay, so let's do just a few at a time. And remember, this makes 4, serves 4. So if you want to make it just for 2, then you need to use the one out of the Cooking for 1 or 2 book. All right. So we've got everything organised here. Let's bring that here. Let's put in a teaspoon of garlic. Fantastic. And now we're just going to toss them together. I love see how it goes, the red or the pinky colour when you're cooking them. All right, now we're going to throw all of this in. The onion, which was, remember, was a cup, and half a cup each of the capsicums. Now you can freeze this recipe for a couple of weeks because it's got the milk in it. It will separate if you freeze it for too long. But I like the fact that we could make this right for today, and then like in a couple of days we just get use the other half, and I don't have to cook. I don't mind having things repeated. What about you? Yes. And I'm still curious, capsicum, red or green? Or are you going to be a rebel and tell me you want yellow? All right. So it's pretty. It's got lots of colours. So let's put the spices in now. See how easy this is going to be? In it goes. Dunsky. You just toss them together. You want to cook those spices just a little bit. Notice I moved back a bit because I don't want to get hit by the chilli. Oh, this is looking good. It's such an easy recipe and it's so tasty. It really is really delicious. Look at that, how it's coated. Oh, yum. Look at that. Beautiful. Now remember, if you're not a prawn person or the budget doesn't permit, chicken. Yeah. And I've actually done this with fish. Yes, I have. And I get a firm fish that doesn't barramundi it's too soft. I think snapper's a little bit the same, and so it doesn't work so well because it just crumbles up in the whole mix. But I have done that with a firm fish, and it's just beautiful. Prawn curry, chicken curry, fish curry, and if you're veggie, tofu, yes, dice up the tofu, bung it in, brown it off. Yeah. And with the chicken, if you're going to do that, cook it a little bit longer than I did the prawns, okay? Brown the chicken off a bit. All right, so we are nearly done here because all I've got to do now is combine the milks, blend in a tablespoon of corn flour. There we go. That's to make it up to the 375. Thank you, Carnation Light. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of coconut essence in. So this is my version of a really healthy coconut cream. Yes, I created it in book 1. Oh my gosh. This looks divine. All right, so we're just putting in a tablespoon of corn flour, boil it up and get ready to eat. All right. Oh, a tablespoon in there. I was going to put it in the mix then. All right. Mix that together. In it goes. And you'll get a beautiful curry sauce now, creamy sauce. Now, if you're dairy intolerant, then you could replace that with almond milk, you know, the sugar, unsweetened almond milk. It works really well. You might have to put a bit more corn flour in it though, because it's a bit runnier than the evaporated milk. And it then becomes a perfect one for anyone that's dairy-free or lactose-free. You can always use lactose-free milk. I like to give you as many options as I can. Am I such a messy cook here? I think I am. All right, so I have a bowl ready to go with some rice in it. I always do the basmati rice because that's the lower GI rice. And that means that just your insulin doesn't rise, because normal rice can actually do that. And it's really, normal rice is not ideal for people with diabetes because it pumps up your insulin level really quickly when you have it. Alrighty. Now, while I'm waiting for this to boil, do you want to know how you can win Book 2 or Cooking for 2? Well, all you have to do is like, share, then in the comments, hashtag Symply Too Good. Remember the hashtag with the SY and the number 2, getting that curry flavour. Just remember, put it in the comments, like, share, and then you will go in the draw and you could be a lucky winner, and I'll personally sign the book for you. So I wonder what one you'll pick, Book 2 or Cooking for 1 or 2. Up to you. Next week's show is going to be rocking it, because if you like banana bread, you need to be here next Thursday, people, because I have got the best, yes, I'm saying it, the best almond bread, banana bread ever. I love it. It's so delicious, and I'm going to make it for you on the show next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, so let's get here with the beautiful curried prawns. Yes, oh my gosh, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Bring on the curried prawns. I'm making such a mess here with my dish. There we go. I'll move it around so you can't see all. Look, there it is. Garlic prawn. Why am I saying garlic prawns? Curried prawns. And if you haven't tried the garlic prawns, it's in Book 1. It's fabulous. Now, before I go, don't forget to sign up for the Spring Challenge. Hello, you don't want to be missing out, because you're going to get this awesome discount of $49. You need to join now. This will never be repeated again, this deal. So it expires this Sunday at midnight. So go to simplytoogood.com.au/membership and let me help you get ready for summer. That's right. Anyway, thanks for joining me for a wonderful Thursday with Annette. I've enjoyed your company. I'll see you next week. Bye now.